So, Kotaku has put out an article regarding the whole Team 17 and Void Interactive split situation, and I'm getting a bunch of DMs asking my thoughts. I debated putting this on the second channel, but here we are. If you guys like the video, leave a like and subscribe for more Ready or Not content. So, Kotaku put this article out yesterday at 1 p.m. Game loses publisher days after devs remind fans about apparent school shooting level. Ready or Not devs Void Interactive have announced the mutually agreed upon split from Team 17 after indicating plans for the controversial level. Now, we've been discussing this split for the past week or so. They just came out and officially announced it. You guys can see here on Twitter, Void Interactive and Team 17 have mutually agreed that Team 17 will no longer publish Ready or Not. We're confident that this is the right path for the future of Ready or Not, and we thank Team 17 for their partnership and wish them great success with their spectrum of games. Now, I had reached out to Team 17 through Twitter DMs, and they actually told me that they were splitting with Void Interactive and that there was really no more comments at this time. I put the tweet out. I took a screenshot and said, hey, this is confirmed now. I heard, murmurs through the Discords that the devs weren't happy that Team 17 and myself put those tweets out. And now we're here. We have this article kind of discussing something that was posted on the Discord by one of the developers. So if you look here, currently in Steam Early Access, Ready or Not sees you controlling a SWAT member. If you guys know the channel, if you guys watch me, you guys know what Ready or Not is. Void Interactive and Team 17 have opted to split. And I've been saying the past week or so, it's a little confusing. They're not saying anything for whatever reason. We don't know what's going on, but they're no longer together. Apparently, somebody had asked, I'm going to open up this link here. Somebody had asked on this subreddit, well, let's read it here. Should Ready or Not have a school shooting mission in the campaign? Now, if you guys have been following the game and you know about it, you know that in the initial 2017 reveal trailer, there was a shot of somebody under a desk kind of indicating that there will eventually be an active shooter situation within a school. And the people in the comments here are saying exactly what everybody is obviously thinking. If we do get the school mission we saw years ago, watch US parents go nuts and blame this game for everything wrong with the world while not doing shit about real life problems. So you can obviously see that the Ready or Not community believe that this should be a thing. They want a game where you have to go in and actively take down a school shooter. Now you can see the general public and, Kotaku's fan base is obviously going to believe, like we can go through the comments here later, you can obviously believe that they don't want this to be a thing. But the problem is a developer had responded in this Reddit thread by saying, you better believe it's gonna, all but confirming the mission's planned existence. 3 days later, the studio is amicably splitting from its publisher. While unconfirmed, people online speculate it's because of this level's intended inclusion. Now, these people online that are speculating about this is Kotaku itself, because I have my ear to the ground when it comes to Ready or Not. I haven't seen anybody mention this reply as a tie-in to why Team 17 is no longer there. What I do see is Kotaku putting out there that, the tie, and they even say here that it's unconfirmed. While unconfirmed, even though in the title you literally try to infer that this is why they've lost their publisher. And this is what I have a problem with when it comes to games journalism in 2021. They try to take things that I don't think are connected and piece it together to picture it and to paint it as if this is what's going on, when really they don't have any clue, much like anybody else has any idea. The only people that understand why they split were the people in the room having the discussion when they did it. So they say, meanwhile, a Team 17 spokesperson told Kotaku over an email that it wishes the studio the best, both in its future endeavors and the game's development. And they even say, we have no further comment on it at the moment. There is nothing here that confirms or even gives you an inkling that Team 17 had abandoned them because of the school shooting situation. Looking here, it's unclear just what the school shooting mission will be should it make its way into the game. The Ready or Not Discord is blowing up with discussions over the still hypothetical level, with some players suggesting it would be cool to play, voicing their ideas on what it should entail and deciding which gear they'd take with them. Others decry the mission's possible inclusion, calling those asking for it a fucking weirdo, while pontificating on why it's problematic. The idea of Ready or Not venturing into the realm of school shootings is nothing new though, as a brief moment from the game's 2017 reveal trailer is taken from the perspective of someone clearly hiding under a desk in a classroom. So Kotaku wants us to believe that Team 17 never noticed that this was in the initial trailer in 2017, and up until 3 days ago, even though they've been working together for the last 9 months, that Team 17 just randomly stumbled across a Reddit thread where a developer had answered that there is going to be a school shooting mission. You would think that Team 17, before getting into bed with Void Interactive, would have done their homework, would have asked them what their plans are for content, because if you watch this reveal trailer, I'm going to just watch it with no audio here, this is a pretty gruesome trailer. It's pretty dark. You know, when we go right here and we watch just how realistic and how some of these situations that they're going to be portraying are kind of, you know, violent and dark. You know, this shot right here is somebody just bleeding, dying on the ground. There's a kid here. I think in this trailer, they open up a crate and there's a bunch of like human trafficked people inside. This shot right here, hold on. It's literally a school. You're telling me that Team 17 didn't know this before getting into bed with them, but we have to figure out a way to tie it to a controversial thing just to, you know, have a headline about it, right? And that's all this is. A lot of people who are reaching out, they want me to talk about it. All this article is to take down a game that is now currently, I believe, #1 on Steam trending, to try and take it down a peg with some controversy that I actually don't think exists outside of the offices of Kotaku. You look here, it's easy to see why the topic is so contentious. According to the gun control advocacy nonprofit Everytown for Gun Safety, literally a mouthful, the United States saw at least 149 school shooting incidents in 2021 alone, up some 55% from 2020. School shootings are no laughing matter, and I totally agree. Like, let's not get this twisted. School shootings are fucked. They certainly shouldn't be just some gritty scenario that gamers play out in their shooter fantasies. And this is why I hate when real life things like this get depicted in video games. People are talking about playing out their shooter fantasies, but Ready or Not would hardly be the first game to court controversy with a specific mission. They obviously bring up No Russian from a game that came out in fucking 2009 that we're still talking about now. And I will say there are some pretty ridiculous comments on this article, but there is a comment here, and I do want to highlight it. I mean, I see how and why a SWAT game might have this type of level. After all, it's the equivalent of a terrorist attack, and most SWAT games have those, and it's not a cartoony type of game, nor does it feature the player as the school shooter. That is very important to highlight. You're not just going in and killing everybody in a fucking school. There might be like children character models and shit that you have to like rescue or like restrain and like, you know, save and play the hero. But the problem here, I think a lot of people are having, and this guy says it here, I just don't think someone who responds with, "You better believe it's gonna," about its inclusion is capable of implementing it with the sensitivity and gravitas it would require. Now, here's the thing about this. I actually agree with them. I think somebody just being like, hell yeah, it's gonna be in there. Okay, that's probably not the guy you want to be putting it in there. But that being said, I actually don't think there is a way that the devs could do it, even if they did it with all the sensitivity and all the gravitas that it would require. I still think people would find a way to be pissed off about it because it's the fucking internet. This guy, my thoughts exactly. It's not really the content that gets me. It makes sense for what they're making. It's just the borderline gleeful response to the question, as if they were asked, "Are we going to Disneyland this year, Dad?" People are pissed because the devs are excited about putting a level like this in there. But realistically, they're the ones making it. They're excited about their project, and they're excited that people are kind of, asking the questions about stuff that they've already kind of come out and said they're going to have. So are you mad at them because they're excited? For me, they do have to handle it with some sort of respect. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I feel like shooting the messenger and just jumping the gun and writing articles about this before we even see what that content is going to look like is just amateur shit. Right here, this guy, you're absolutely correct. There's no debate, conversation, or discussion. Oh, that's going to be a great one. If you get joy and entertainment out of a simulated school shooting, well, you should be on some sort of watch list. Furthermore, I specifically said in no context. No matter what, no matter if I'm taking your words out of context, someone's taking my words, blah, 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 there's absolutely no context, conversation, debate, discussion, game, movie, TV show, board game in which I can understand the appeal of a school shooting scenario. This comment mirrors my thoughts, identically. I seriously doubt this had anything to do with a potential school shooter level. First of all, Team 17 would have already known about this when they first signed the publishing deal. Publishers don't sign games without knowing what they're signing up for. They would have reviewed the GDDs, the game design documents, before finalizing any contracts. Any undocumented content or features would need publisher approval, and if the 2017 trailer is any indication, this level was already in the plans before Team 17 signed on as a publisher. And I think some other people up top were talking about the fact that the level, like we've already seen little snippets of it on their Discord. So I personally haven't seen it, but it's been well known that this is going to be a thing in this game. It's far more likely that this was just an issue of funding or scheduling. Maybe the devs wanted to delay the game so they could expand it or give it more polish, and that pushed it beyond Team 17's publishing budget or release timeline. I did see something that has also been scrubbed from the Ready or Not subreddit, which was a developer talking about the idea of Team 17's QA just being, 100%. You can't find the quote anymore, but they basically said, they said that they had fixed something. They submitted it to the QA team. QA team came back 3 different times and said that it's still not up to snuff. It's still not fixed. I really feel like there was a lot of creative differences on, are things good? Like, we saw what happened with the PvP build in 2020. It just wasn't a good game. It just wasn't. And then Team 17 comes in 9 months later, all of a sudden, the game is solid. So that to me kind of checks out a little bit more. And I think just by looking at the development timeline, I think Team 17 was probably just like, this shit is not going to be done anytime soon. Good luck. And, split amicably like that. And I think the devs were kind of forced to be like, okay, we don't have a publisher deal anymore. We need to go to Steam. Let's just make this happen. This is another weird comment. I'm normally a big fan of tactical shooters, but watching some videos, it's a little too close to home for me. People giggling when they light up a civilian by mistake and restart the level just treats the entire situation like a joke. Younger me would have lolled and kept it moving, and now I can't even look at it. You're a fan of tactical shooters, but when people, make mistakes and light up a civvy and laugh and have fun, you're just sick to your stomach about it. Like, what? But yeah, for anybody who was reaching out to me to, talk about this, I really think it's just a matter of Kotaku trying to come up with something because there's really no game news. Battlefield's done. There's nothing going on, so let's try to piece together 2 things that probably don't have anything to do with each other, and let's try to push that narrative. Hey, there's a game that's successful on Steam right now that's not a fucking colorful magenta-filled game that our fan base probably won't like. Let's tie it to a school shooting and get people riled up. And the thing is you can see when you click on Kotaku. Let's look at the latest news here. So 10 comments here, 20 comments here. Let's go here. 13 comments, 32, 45. Let's scroll down to this one with 200 fucking comments. It's clear that this is why these articles are being written. I'm not going to say it's clickbait, but it's more like a rage bait type of situation for the people who might follow Kotaku that might, be triggered by a school shooting level. Now we're going to go voice their opinions and just kind of start that whole narrative that this game deserves to die because they're talking about controversial things that even by Kotaku's own fucking article happen damn near every week in the United States. Maybe we should be talking about those stats they put in the article and not a game trying to fictionally recreate some of those situations. And as I'm editing this video, Eurogamer is jumping on the train as well. SWAT game loses publisher following school shooting comment. Here we go. Ready or Not no longer published by Team 17. It's basically a copy and fucking paste. Team 17 responded to Kotaku. Void Interactive has lost the publisher for its SWAT game Ready or Not days after comments suggested it would include a school shooting mission. Though no reasons have been given so far, a recent Reddit post asking if the game would include a school shooting level received, like, it's the same fucking shit. They literally copied Kotaku's whole article, and here we are. It's unclear if the school shooting mission will definitely be included in a future update, but Ready or Not will now seemingly be self-published by Void Interactive. Look, at the end of the day, if you're a fan of Void Interactive and Ready or Not, this is probably the best case scenario, because if it turns out that this is true, then that means that a publisher tried to, I guess, change the content of a game that we all backed and pre-ordered based on the initial trailer that we saw in 2017, and Void Interactive said, fuck you, not gonna happen. If this is to be believed, I don't think this is the case, but realistically, Ready or Not is a top seller on Steam right now. It's doing fantastic. They don't need Team 17 anymore for, publishing, funding, and other resources. What I am scared of is that Void Interactive is going to lose that quality control that developer was talking about on Reddit. I hope the future of this game is bright, and I hope that without Team 17, we get the content that we initially wanted, but we also get the quality that we are now accustomed to from this game that just launched on Steam. My name is BigFry. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.